A question and answer you.
Yeah, Jonathan, go for it.
Well, these are the artist taxi drivers who, with the artist mental patients, but these guys here, they should be mental patients, what they've been put through recently. Go by number so we don't get into trouble. Licence number 205. Did you know you just the licence?
Yeah.
What have we been doing to you then since the last 18 months?
For the last 18 months, it's been the life's been upside down for every taxi driver who's working here. We have been abused by traffic wardens. We have been abused by the taxi licensing officer. We have been abused verbally by this guy who works for a
Was this the guy trying to get you to move your car on Saturday?
No, not before that. I had an argument with him 3 times.
It's very. You're
He
always
comes
polite.
out. I'm always polite. I told him, you know, if you give respect, you take respect.
Yes, sir.
It's the way you talk to people. You talk to people down, and then you respect people to, you know, give you respect back.
Right.
He's a community officer. His name is Nigel. First name is Nigel, and you got another guy. His name is Richard Lee or somebody.
Do they think
He
they know
took
what
my
they're doing?
plate off. He took my plate off in a private property, which is totally illegal.
It's theft.
And it's theft. Then I went to the licensing office and they turned around and said you should complain about this guy.
Oh, so we can do
Yeah.
it, just complain, and then you'll complain to somebody else in the same office to get it
No,
solved?
it's a different. They are community officers which work for the police.
The council.
Then you got for the police, and then you got Nottingham City Council taxi licensing office.
How can you tell the difference?
The difference is, you know, they seems to be working together,
They also. Yeah.
but somehow
You
they
complain
have,
to one,
you know,
to the other.
to the other. But you know, for us, they give us lectures. They give us Bible all the time. Be nice, pick the packs up, do this, do that. I've been doing this job for 42 years.
Wow.
I have not got a criminal record. You know, so you can imagine, you get spat, you got theft, you got beat up, and then these guys are coming out and telling us how to do our job.
But
You know,
what-
because they got a uniform on.
But also
And the
isn't it-
licensing officer, the lady, her name is
Angela Rawson?
Angela Rawson. Yeah, she sits there in her office. Yeah, she goes to the Nottingham City Council here on Station Street. She looks that we are overcrowding. Yeah, she doesn't go to the council and to the elected people that we need more ranks.
Ah.
We need respect.
Somebody
And
is
then
saying,
there was a time with all this mess up when the road works for the trains were going on, you know, and there was buses on this street. And when we were overcrowding and we were trying to park right at the back, and they were moving us and put us in the middle of the road. And the buses were swearing and everybody was swearing.
but they blame you for blocking the road.
They blame us for parking. And then we haven't got, you know,
How can you feed your family?
this is what I'm saying. Our taking is gone 40, 50 pounds a day.
Wow.
And then all over the business from this railway line, right to up to Chilwell, everybody is struggling.
Are you
But
aware
they know that.
the Nottingham City Council, this station that's just been refurbished,
Yeah.
is owned by Network Rail, a private company for profit.
Yeah.
Huge profits for their shareholders.
Yeah.
And yet our
Richard
so-called
Branson.
public servants, we're supposed to be the bosses.
Yeah.
All of us. They give them £50 million to
Very
refurbish
angry.
their station.
You're angry
I'm
about
not
that.
angry at
No,
all.
he's-
This man,
I'm passionate.
This man
the same
used-
as this man.
Yeah.
This man, until it was refurbished, used to pay extra money. The whole of this rank paid extra money just to drive into the station
Yeah.
and pick people
And
up.
now they've closed it.
But they closed it, and when the station's being refurbished, they employed a separate mini-cab firm to service all the staff, everything
This
that's going
is
on.
very unfair
But they're
for
meant
taxi
to be
drivers.
back on this street. And Angela Rawson, who was mentioned, she was actually, when they tried to harass this lot even lot more because they weren't behaving themselves, so they come to get them, told this man and everybody else if they stepped out their cab for 5 minutes, they would
Yeah.
be prosecuted and get tickets.
You know, once you sit
That's
in a cab
insane.
and your legs and you know, your mind is boggled.
You need a rest.
And you need a rest, you need to come out. Some of us smoke. And then, you know, we just can't even smoke. You know, on the main road and put it in the bin afterwards, you know.
205.
And then and those people are watching you like a hawk, just to find you. It's a
I've,
finding culture.
I've got-
collecting money.
Collecting
Greed.
money. Greed.
205. I've just realised something.
No,
You've got to pick up
205.
some passengers. 205. Yeah. You've got to pick some passengers up, or you won't be able to eat either. So we'll chat again. But remember, we're just across the road. If you want to tap on that
No, but
glass,
your business has been affected.
well, there hasn't been any business.
There
I mean,
you
the
go.
street's
And
been
our
closed for 18
business,
months.
You know, they should come and say,
Yes, sir.
So when are they opening this
Yeah.
for you to actually
We
park up
don't
as
know.
you did
This is
before?
overworked for nearly 4 months now.
Yeah.
6 months now.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know,
It's unfair, isn't
it's
it?
unfair.
And we're supposed to be the bosses.
You know, and these
and they give him
and
millions and billions
and
to
you know the
private.
Labour Party who's ruling this Nottingham. You know, when they lose the election, and then they say we want to listen to you. What is your problem? But when you vote them, you know,
They become deaf.
They become deaf. And you know something? 80% of the Asians vote them, Labour Party. You know, it's about time that people should stand up and say no.
Yes, sir.
Do you think
Because the way you behave, and that guy who's running this council,
John Collins.
John Collins, God help him.
Oh, I think
You know,
he needs
God
more
help
help
him.
than that.
You know,
Yeah.
he's got his own problem outside the St. Anne's, you know, when you go to bingo. And, you know, there's traffic jammed from the other side of coming to town, and
Yes.
then there's a roundabout, and then you got to stop. Yeah? And why couldn't you put traffic lights on Lumiton Street and, you know, and
That's
Shelton
because
Street?
they're spending 83 million on new lampposts.
Yeah, yeah.
83
And, you know,
million
and it
pounds on
shouldn't cause
lampposts.
any traffic
with Southern
jam.
and Scottish electricity on
But the guy, he represents St. Anne's, he does, that guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he
So
does.
that shows you
He
how
doesn't
brainy
really
that guy
represent
is.
St. Anne's.
No,
He
but
represents
shows-
himself.
Himself. No, that shows you how clever the guy is.
Have you seen
Or
that?
is he just a criminal?
Yeah, I'm not saying he's criminal. I don't think, you know, you can accuse somebody of being
I
criminal.
didn't say accuse, I said is
Yeah,
he?
we asked.
Well, I mean, politically he is.
Yeah.
Politically he's criminal because he's not doing anything for anybody. He's got chip on his shoulder. He walks like he's a king of Nottingham. I've never seen a councillor. You're only a councillor. You know what I mean? Even the Queens don't walk. You know, the lady who we respect, the lady who we die for. She doesn't speak to us like that the way these guys do. You know,
He needs bringing down a peg or two, doesn't he?
well, it's the people who shouldn't vote him.
Yeah.
But, you know, he knows he's going to win.
Have you lost confidence in John Collins? Is your trust?
Definitely.
Because remember, it's
Yeah.
a trust. And he's heading a trust.
It's definitely.
So-
it's a groups. He goes into Asian groups. He thinks they are leader of my community.
Oh, I see.
You know, and those people are unknown people.
Right.
You know, he's got a couple of people like Hassan Shah. You know, he can't even sort his own bloody house out. Never mind me. You know, I've been in politics for too long. You know, I know what politics is, but I'm retired. I mean, you know, I'm going to do this for a couple of years, and then you know, I feel sorry for younger race.
Well,
Either they're whites, they're blacks, or they're Asians. I feel sorry for them
I think
because all they're going to get is criminal record, fine after fine.
yes.
and
just
this
for living.
Just for living.
Yeah.
This is not fair.
I
It's
think
not
the trust.
fair.
They're not
It's
playing
fair.
fair. Have you noticed on
You know,
the front
they
it
do
says...
something stupid and they go to prison, come back, who's going to give them a job? Yeah?
Exactly.
They are criminal. They are stamped as criminal.
But they're the real criminals. Are in
Yeah,
there.
because they make the law. They make
The real criminals are in there.
Ah,
Yeah.
but you see, this is where it gets to the point where, you know, you're saying politics, you thought we did have actually laws to follow. They have actually invented their own law, their own courts and their
They
own
done
policemen.
everything. They grub
But
you.
what
they,
you've
they
got to
you by
realise...
another. Excuse me. They grub you by balls.
Yes. But
Because
you've got to
they think
understand,
you know, they make the law.
Oh, we agree. Yeah.
they're not as powerful as
You know-
they're pretending to be. And if you've spotted it, then it's time that...
We're supposed to be the bosses.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you're from.
They got no respect
If
for
they
us.
realise that we're all one.
That's how they
You
play.
know.
They divide and rule people.
Well, we've figured it out. They're on a negative club of take. It says proud and ambitious for the people of Nottingham. So
Yeah.
I thought I knew what the word people was. And I looked it up and it says supporters and employees of the council.
Yeah.
Not the residential citizens that live and work in
He
Nottingham.
goes in that cafe, has a cup of tea, and then he watches all the taxi drivers suffering and struggling. Yeah, he knows the full story.
Well, they've
because
got millions.
we've been moved, you know, we've been chased and moved and harassed by the traffic warden and by that guy. Yeah, and then that Angela Lawson.
Trying to prove their authority.
You know,
Again, Angela Lawson, that little bit with the taxi driver
yeah,
getting the
she's-
cabs.
yeah, she's the boss of her environment there, and she's a civil servant. She's not, you know,
They're supposed to be public servants.
You know,
yeah.
I'm a self-employed. You know, she should go in there and say, this is the problem of one department, this is the problem of another department. You know, she has never ever went and said, my taxi drivers who pay me millions and keeps me in a job
Oh yeah.
they have this problem.
Do you know that she's
and
lied
they've been
to you?
harassed, and then she's doing nothing.
If she's lied to you,
Yeah.
do you think she's working for you?
She's not working for us.
Trust has gone. Trust
They're
has
all
gone.
in it together.
Everybody
for
knew
themselves.
it. Everybody knows she's not working for us.
So what are you paying this license for?
I don't know. We pay millions.
Yeah.
We pay millions for MOT, our badge. You know, if we fail our MOT, we have to wait
What's
2,
the
3.
licence?
This is a license. We have to wait 3 days to retest.
Do you know what a licence is? It's for when you're doing something illegally.
Yeah.
They make everything illegal, as you say.
So
you
they
see it's
charge you
coming.
for it. That's
Yeah.
electricity.
Anyway,
Right, you better move it along.
And
Sir, thank
thanks
you
for,
so much for your time.
Thanks for that.
A
Thank you very
pleasure.
much indeed,
What's your
sir.
name?
Pleasure to meet you.
What's your name?
I love you.
Yeah, correct. I love you.
The 205, who seems to have got a lot of harassment.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about anybody apart from individuals. How's life been for the last 18 months? As a
Terrible, terrible. Absolutely. I think lost lot of trade. Honestly, lot of trade we have, and we're still not getting anywhere.
Well, this is the rank for Station Street, which means there's a station on it. Where do
Yep.
the passengers come looking for taxis?
Passengers everywhere.
Yeah.
There isn't one where they can come out. I had a ticket at the front while I was dropping a wheelchair job.
No.
And have you had to pay that?
Actually, no, I didn't. I wrote to them and told them, look, this is a wheelchair, and if you want, we'll go forward.
Yes.
But anyway, but like I said, it's been so much hassle. I was dropping one wheelchair and the traffic warden came to me and she says, I'm going to give you a ticket. I said, look, this is the only place I can drop wheelchair. Where do you want me to drop the wheelchair? This is the only access.
Yes,
There's
sir.
only one access to wheelchair. Anyway, she gave me so much hassle. I said, she took the photos and everything. I never got the ticket. But like I said, we had so much hassles. Unbelievable. For this last 18 months, it's been nightmare here.
The street's meant to be open now. Do you believe it's going back to the taxi rank as it was before?
Well, there is a talk about doing all this pedestrian, isn't it?
Oh, you've heard that, have you?
Yeah, we heard that, yeah.
Right, well, there might be some problems because of the way the taxi drivers react when they're being bullied. Because
Yeah,
you,
but
you have a lot of power.
But there's
so
another,
they're going to come after
there's
you. if you do
another
things
thing
like
I
that.
heard, there's another rumor I heard that they cannot take away your rank because once this station was made, this was a taxi rank here, by law they can't take it off you.
But by law, but
That-
they do tend to cheat a bit. So, bearing that in mind, historically, it's been here.
Right.
And that's what it's for. It's for the Hackney
Hackney
carriages.
carriage, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I heard, that somebody says he was talking to some sort of solicitor, right? And he says, no, they can't. And they got to ask you
Yeah.
whether they can,
Well,
you know.
all you'll find is a little notice like the one up there saying you're going to take this all away from you and we've told you about it. So we must keep an eye. If I see one of those signs coming up, because they do ignore these signs, but you just say no.
What about you then?
No, well, apart from not having any business, because it's been so quiet down here.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been there now 2 years.
That's
and
right, yeah.
I still haven't paid a ticket because there's no ticket to pay.
Yeah.
And they put my name on the front page of the Evening Post saying I owe them money. They don't come near me. They try to fine for even having a table outside.
Did you know
They don't
that-
come near
well,
me.
I think
Gotta teach
you
them to say
you
no.
all know that they made £250,000 from people coming from London Road.
Yes, and apparently it's all going to be paid back as well. So everybody, yeah.
They were illegal what they were doing.
That's right, yeah.
But unless you actually catch them, that's it. And they won't tell anybody. Really, they should be informing every single person that got a ticket
Yeah.
from coming down the Phantom bus lane that it wasn't valid.
Valid,
But
yeah.
they won't do that because it's a lot of money paid back. You've got to find the truth.
That's the Canal Street entrance to Station Road, isn't it?
London Road.
London Road
Road
entrance
to
station.
Everyone
yeah.
that's turned down there for whatever reason has been fined automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, he was in the
never
Evening
valid.
Post, wasn't he? He was in the
Unlawfully.
Post, and that was nearly £250,000. Over £250,000.
Well, they've got to give
that
you
was,
credit.
that was in 4 weeks. In 4 weeks.
But if you've paid it, then you're stupid because they're not going to tell you you paid it. You've got to find this and see if you can get this money back.
And they rely on the fact that most people won't apply to get it back because people don't know.
lot of people say they don't want headache, do they? They don't want to hassle this.
No,
All
pay
right,
it,
you
get
know,
on with
just
it.
pay it and get on with my life, innit? That's what most people do. I mean, I will do it as well. You know, if
you
I'm
run
in-
out of money.
you know, unless. But like I said, sometimes it's so I don't know. I mean, I've been working here 30 years now. 30 odd years, and I only worked at station as well. But the last year we was last 5 weeks as well when we
Yeah.
went to the other side. Since then we lost a good 60% trade here, you know.
You see, we're supposed to be the bosses. They're our servants.
That's right.
And if you can't feed your family,
That's right,
or pick up a fare,
Yeah.
Well,
And we did Mrs. Strike thing, didn't it? A couple of weeks, about
Yes.
a couple of months ago.
we met
Yeah, no,
Jamal.
you know, we was I wasn't in for that because I think that was wrong because you cannot hurt public. We are public service, you know, we take people. So we are
Did you
public.
get that desperate because of how well they're listening to you?
Because they're not listening to us. That's the reason they did
Are
it.
you paying them to do a certain job?
What do you mean certain?
Well, you know that you're paying them to police you to make sure
Well,
everything is squeaky and
we
perfect.
pay, yeah, we've
Is
been
there
paying
any
here.
advantage to this? I
We've
mean,
been paying for last 7-8 weeks, probably more than that now. We were hiring our marshals, right?
Yes.
So there was people standing here, no taxis. There was people standing
That's
there.
my point, is that's where people
and then
expect the taxis to be.
all of us was paying about £8 a week, and so we can get the marshals, so they can bring the customers down to us. And the customers says, you know, what the hell is going on here? I mean, why didn't they do that job while the station was closed? You know, get it done. So when the, ticket office was moved up here, they should have sorted everything out.
You see, the longer it takes to do, the more money they can make.
People were going down there. Where's the ticket office? Where's the ticket office? You know, it's been nightmare, absolutely nightmare.
Sorry to hear
That's
this.
all I can say.
Sorry to hear
Does it feel like it's going to change and get better?
Well, I don't think so because, like I said, there's entrance to the side now.
Yeah.
You know, if people go outside, there's no taxis outside at all. So people, I don't know what they've done.
They worked well together planning this out then.
You know, the best they could have done was left taxis inside. People come out. We was in here going inside.
We couldn't believe they
And,
closed.
you
Yeah,
know,
but you can play table tennis and get a coffee now.
Yeah.
When you've got off a train, the most wonderful thing to see is a happy, smiling
Yeah,
man with a taxi to take you where you want to go.
If people want to catch buses, they'll go and catch buses.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are here, out of a town, they want to get somewhere,
Yeah.
they don't know where to catch the buses.
Yeah.
You know, so they need to catch the taxis so they can get down to the business, whatever
Of
business they
course,
come to
yeah.
come for.
And
You
that's
know,
how you provide this service.
That's what, yeah.
But the council thinks that's illogical that people want to get in a taxi from the station.
So
they'll
the
hide them
council,
away.
they take billions and millions and billions of pounds from these wonderful people that provide this great service and keep it for themselves.
Where is, can I just ask, you don't see dropping disabled customers off. Where is the drop-off point for disabled
There
customers?
isn't,
There
there's left it.
So you actually, in theory, have to break the law
Yeah,
to drop somebody off.
yeah. I did.
And
like
then you
I
have to ask permission not to fine you because you were dropping
I
somebody
did
off.
that. I did that. I mean, you know, like I said,
It's all illegal then.
yeah. Well, I dropped
Disabled people
and I was there
are now illegal on Station Street.
Well, if you saw that
I was-
Brian Gerrish thing last night, he actually said they're going to be the ones they go after next. They've used them to get disabled rights and that, and now they're going after them for the rights they've got.
This is ridiculous.
It was,
And
it
they're
was-
lefts.
It was about 1.5 minutes.
Ups and
It took
downs.
me half a minute, you know, because we got the slump straight. So it was and next, you know,
But that's up on Colton.
and 3 or 4 or 5 days later, ticket comes through the door.
Was it automatic from a little flashy camera?
The
then?
one up on the Queen,
see?
you know, that on the main one at the top. Is
Roman law. You've pulled up, obviously, you're a lawbreaker.
Guilty till proven innocent.
Yeah. You're going to have to learn to, I'm going to have to teach all of you how
This
to actually
council
say no.
are not working for the people.
They aren't.
They're only working for themselves.
Well, I think of all the councils in England, I think they have the bottom on the line.
We are very far down there, yeah.
Yeah.
And Collins in particular is to blame for it.
John
Oh.
Collins.
Member of Ministry for error, I hope, with me, because I'm just dealing with that parking ticket. These guys get tickets all the time, but, you know, you are still to blame for this, John, so let's look at it as you having a chat with me. We'll make this go away because obviously a mistake, and then we'll get the other things put right. Or just carry on as you're doing, because we're having a lovely time.
And also,
Nice show.
Also, what's happening because of that, a lot of taxi drivers, I mean, you know, do break laws because
You've got no choice.
you got no choice. I mean, like
It's
I said,
common sense
I have
or
been,
do something
I have been
again.
working 30 odd years, and I don't think I have ever broken a law.
Well, the thing is, back at the front of the station,
Yeah.
instead of extending the path, they could have made the path foot smaller so you could pull in there and get people that come straight out the station.
Perfect.
But what they did, they extended the path, so
Right, yeah.
but there's plenty of room
So
anyway.
you have to
Yeah,
do your
also-
job, and you have to break the rules to do your
Do
job.
it, yeah, yeah.
They give you one way to do it correctly, even if it's not right, and then if you don't do it that way, as in your customers coming out there but you park over there,
Yeah, but that's where they
it'll
make
be
the
fine.
money in it. So if
Course it is.
you're gonna break the law, they're gonna get you in
And
it,
they get control
and they're
over
gonna
you.
make the money out of it.
Right, well the most important thing about these laws that they're actually doing, they are by consent.
Yeah.
And the naughty thing about the council is they dress their own police officers, you don't go to court. When you think you're going to court with your
They take
parking
you
ticket,
to-
you're not. They make it up, and then, in theory, if you don't pay that, they'll employ private thugs.
Yeah.
But once you know that from the very beginning, take me to court is all you've got to ask.
Or
And-
have you taken me to court? And
Well,
you
I
find
asked
out
that
they've taken you to a paper clearinghouse.
No, they told me they took me to court, but if you asked to go to court and you told you don't have the rights to go to court,
You
then
called
the
the
law's
court.
already gone.
You called the court and they said they'd never heard of you.
Well, which would I phone? The bulk clearing office?
They said you've been taken to a bulk paper clearing
No,
centre.
they do pretend that they've got the lawful rights in it, because if you do not know how to say no, then one person saying no is very, very
They know
dangerous.
they're acting
There's
unlawfully.
411 of you,
That's right, yeah.
and it fuddles, nearly said something rude there. Well, it is a taxi, isn't it? It's an artist. But really, if you know how much power you have, you're good people to do it, because you're not exactly rebellious.
No.
You're not trying to take over Nottingham or
trying to earn a
corrupt,
living.
Just make a living.
even
Yeah.
get rid of the council,
No.
because
Well, they're certainly not doing anything for us, are they? Everything they do seems to be against us, so I think we'd all be far better off without them.
And you wise that, because if you look at, did you read the Evening Post about a couple of weeks ago? You know that there's 4 windows broken on the Luxury house.
Really?
no, wasn't somebody getting angry with them?
No. There was 4 windows broken,
Yeah.
and how much is going to cost to get repaired?
It's expensive.
Oh,
glass.
probably 3 million.
£56,000. 4 windows. It was in the post. It was in the post. And this says £56,000. And this says there was a comment underneath, right? And he says, well, no wonder our council tax going up. They paying 56,000 to have 4 windows.
I'll tell you what, there's some glazers out there would have done it for 500, never mind 56,000.
£56,000 in the post.
Yeah,
See,
well,
they always give
money.
the money to their friends.
Yeah.
And they'll have a friend with the...
That's it. Yeah, it's the contract. It's friend, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes to the highest
Oh,
bidder.
it's high to build, yeah.
They're not looking after
And they
everybody.
get a share of it then,
I
backhanded.
can build a house for 56,000.